Hey there, we are live from Midtown Comics Grand Central. It is Wednesday. Happy new comic book day to all of you guys. It is a wonderful week in the world of comics, and what makes it extra wonderful is that today only, that's right, for one day only, we are taking 30% off all graphic novels in all of our stores. So if you come to any of our locations, Times Square, downtown, Grand Central, you will get 30% off of every single trade paperback, hardcover, graphic novel, and manga that you see. And yes, that does include omnibus editions. We've got a ton of great books, and we want you guys to come by and enjoy. But what makes this extra awesome is that, of course, like I said, it's Wednesday. It is New Comic Book Day. We've got tons of great releases that we're going to walk and talk about. And we're going to get started right here with the brand new issue of X-Men Gold. It is issue number 20, which is the continuation of the Negative Zone War storyline. Mark Guggenheim's been planning this story from the beginning with Kolgoth and his army on his home planet. Some really crazy stuff, and I think it's really cool to see an actual sci-fi X-Men story, because I always like when the X-Men go into space, do some crazy stuff. And, of course, if you are a big X-Men fan, I'm sure you were disheartened, as were we, that our signing with Charles Soule got snowed out, but we do have signed editions of Astonishing X-Men issue number 7 here in stores. So these are going to be in all of our stores, and if you are online, we can find them online too. Some really great stuff and a really great story, a bold new direction in the Man Called X storyline. As we continue on, we've also got the brand new issue of Generation X from Christina Strain. Some crazy stuff going on in here as the Gen X crew has expanded to include some of the original members of the team as well as the new class. Some really great stuff. Really digging that book. We also have the brand new issue of All New Wolverine. Orphans of X continues. We've had some really crazy stuff going on these last couple issues with Juan Cabal and, of course, Tom Taylor writing it, doing a great job, as now we see the Orphans of X may have finally gotten the upper hand against our heroes, against Laura, against Old Man Logan, and Sabretooth. Some crazy stuff going on here. Really actually curious to see how they get out of it, because they've kind of got the ultimate weapon to use against them. But read and find out, and, let me know. Now, we are going to bring it up, and we're going to talk about some of the brand new graphic novels. And, yes, these do apply to our graphic novel sales, so you can get them today for 30% off, including X-Men, Legion, Shadow King Rising. Really cool stuff here. We've got a great Jim Lee cover here. And this is, of course, collecting some of the great 90s books. We've got New Mutants 26 through 28, Uncanny X-Men 253 through 255, and 278 through 80, and some X-Factor. Some very cool stuff. Actually, more late 80s than 90s, but still, nonetheless, awesome. Then we also have Sky Masters of the Space Force, a nice, oversized hardcover collection of the complete dailies from Jack Kirby, Dick and Dave Wood, Wallace Wood, and Dick Ayers. We also have Pogo by Walt Kelly, some more great syndicated comic strips, and we have the Warlord of Mars. Now, this is a big edition. This is the Omnibus Volume 2 from Dynamite, of course, with John Carter. Who doesn't love John Carter? And then if you're a fan of more sci-fi, we've got Valerian and Laureline in the Order of the Stones. Some cool stuff there. And we also have Unleash from Amigo. Very cool. And then we've got Trump's ABCs, if you want some political humor. Because who doesn't love political humor, right? Then we're going to bring it back down, and we've got the brand new issue of Weapon X, issue number 13, Nuclear War. Some really cool stuff going on here as we see Nuke is teaming up with our Weapon X mutants to take on an entire Nuke platoon. And if you thought that Nuke himself was a handful, wait until you meet these new guys. Now, as we move on, we do have the brand new issue and concluding chapter of Venom Inc. with Venom Inc. Omega. Now, this has, of course, been a crossover storyline between Amazing Spider-Man and Venom Inc., and you can see our heroes in the clutches of the symbiote. We've got Spider-Man, Anti-Venom, Venom, and the Black Cat, who have been dealing with some crazy stuff because of Maniac, who is this new symbiotic foe that they are facing off against. Really great book, really cool stuff, and of course, it's got a wealth of fantastic creators. It's got Mike Costa, Dan Slott, Ryan Stegman, and Gerardo Sandoval. So the creative teams from both books melding, fusing for one awesome story. Now, as we move on, we've got the hardcover collection of Mighty Thor, Volume 4, from Jason Aaron and Valerio Schiti. I love Valerio Schiti's art, and this is the War Thor storyline. So this is awesome, and it's really cool because it's bringing in some of the continuity from the Ultimate Universe into the regular Thor book. Really great stuff. We also have the current brand new issue of Mighty Thor, and you'll see here we've also got the Avengers throwback variant cover back to Heroes Reborn with Rob Liefeld art. Really cool, it's actually pretty cool to see Rob Liefeld art bringing back the Heroes Reborn variant. But we have the new issue of Mighty Thor 703. The Death of the Mighty Thor storyline continues from Jason Aaron and Russell Dauterman. And what I think is an added bonus, if you see right there, there's the little Wolverine sticker. That's right. That means that there is a Wolverine backup storyline as we are seeing the path of Wolverine's future laid out in front of us. We have to see what's going on with everybody's favorite Canadian, and you can find out in the back of that book. Awesome read. We also have the Marvel Masterworks Submariner Volume 8. This is really cool because I'm a big Namor fan. I don't know about you guys, but I've always thought Namor was awesome, so it's really great to see that they are doing Marvel Masterworks collections, some really fantastic editions of these classic stories featuring one of Marvel's original heroes. You know, he's one of their OGs. We also have the brand new Epic collection of Star Wars Legacy. Now, Star Wars Legacy focuses on the descendant of Luke Skywalker, who is really not doing the family name justice. He's kind of a scoundrel. He's kind of not exactly a great guy. I mean, this doesn't really look like Luke's pride and joy, but it is really cool, and it's a fantastic book exploring some really interesting depths in the future of the Star Wars universe. Then if you want to focus on something more contemporary, we've got Star Wars issue number 42 from Kieran Gillen and Salvador LaRocca. Of course, we are focusing on the original trilogy timeline as we see Han Solo stepping up in the Rebel Army, trying to actually, contribute a little bit, I mean, come on, Han, do something for us. But really cool, really fun, and Kieran Gillen has been on the Star Wars books for years, doing an amazing job. Then we also have the brand new issue of Spirits of Vengeance, War, The Gates of Hell, issue number 4 from Victor Gischler and David Baldion. Some really cool stuff. David Baldion, of course, just announced as the artist for Domino. And if you want to check out his art, get a preview of what's to come, you got to check out Spirits of Vengeance. It's got everybody you want. It's got Johnny Blaze. It's got Blade. It's got Damon Hellstrom, Satana Hellstrom. It's awesome. Now, we do also have the brand new issue of Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, issue number 299. Of course, that means next issue is going to be a big old anniversary issue. But this issue still dealing with the Most Wanted storyline. Chip Zdarsky and Adam Kubert doing some really great work here. One of the most fun Spider-Man books that you will read. Then if you want to check out Venom Inc. and you aren't caught up, we do have the reprinted edition of Amazing Spider-Man issue number 792, which was part 2 of the Venom Inc. storyline. So you just need to read Venom Inc. Alpha, and then there you are. Jump in, enjoy. Now, continuing on, we've got the complete collection of Punisher Max Volume 7. Whoa, a lot of cool stuff here. This is actually some great work by Jason Aaron with Steve Dillon on art, focusing on the Punisher Max storyline, which is I think it's one of the best takes on Punisher. It's one of the most fan favorite. It's really cool because they get to do all the things that you can't get away with in a regular Marvel book. So it's really dark, really gritty, and it says explicit content, and there's a reason. So kids, find a different Punisher book. This is for parents. And then we have the brand new issue of Monsters Unleashed. Now, this is a good book for the kids, in contrast. So this is really fun, really cool storyline. It is focusing on all, of course, Kid Kaiju and his wealth of fantastic monster friends. Some really great adventures, high-octane action, and a really good read. We also have the brand new issue of Doctor Strange, issue number 384. We've got a very cool Young Avengers variant, which makes me happy. It's already sold out online, so if you want it, you're going to have to come by to pick it up in the store. But if you have not been reading Doctor Strange, you're missing out on one of the best books Marvel is putting out right now. Donny Cates and Gabriel Hernandez-Walter are really doing a great job exploring new territory and actually looping in Asgardian lore with the mysticism of Doctor Strange, which is a natural fit, of course, because Loki is Sorcerer Supreme. It makes sense that the two of them are kind of doing a fusion dance, you know? So then we move on, and we also have the reprinted edition of 382, and whoa! That's right, it's the Sentry returning, because, of course, the Sentry has been playing a part in the book. This is the issue where he came back, so if you missed out and you want to check it out, maybe you're a big Sentry fan, check out the book. It's awesome. Super awesome. Then we have the brand new volume of Deadpool Classic, volume number 21. Now, this collects Deadpool and Cable Split Second, Deadpool v Gambit, and Deadpool Too Soon. So it's got a whole bunch of the miniseries from a couple years back. If you missed out on any of them, they're really great. I really like the Deadpool Cable Split Second mini. That was really fun. And this is filled with some fantastic books. But if you want something new, you need to have that fix right now. You got to check out Deadpool vs. Old Man Logan, issue number 4. And right here on this Ron Lim cover, which we sold out of online, that is Poolverine. I'm not making this up, people. This is a Deadpool and Wolverine abomination, the worst thing that humanity has ever created, but it makes for fantastic comics. So really cool stuff. If you are a fan of either character, you got to check it out, because you got to see how this circumstance arises. Now, continuing on, we have the brand new issue of Champions, issue number 16. Champion for a Day, part 1. It is time for a recruitment drive, as it were, for the Champions. That's where you see all of Marvel's young heroes popping up on the cover. Some really great characters here that we have not seen given the spotlight, and I really dig it. I'm very excited, and I want to see this roster shake up a little bit, you know. During Secret Empire, we got a little bit of a tease of what it's like when they team up with the other kids. Now we get to see maybe something a little more permanent. Then we're going to continue on, and we have the brand new issue of Avengers, issue 676, No Surrender, part 2. So this is really awesome. Of course, this is a weekly book now for the next 15 issues up until the storyline concludes. Some crazy stuff. We had Jim Zub the other day for a signing, and he really let us know how much we're going to love this. And I can tell you, it's true. I'm loving it. Fantastic issue, really great. And for eagle-eyed viewers, there's actually a Midtown Comics logo right there on the cover because they used one of our covers, and I think that's really funny. And it's a fantastic cover by Mark Brooks. And a really fantastic issue. Jim Zub, Al Ewing, Mark Waid, and Pepe Larraz doing some really amazing art on this book. Check it out. It's a great read. Now we are going to bring it back up, and we're going to talk about some of the cool collections. Once again, these are all 30% off today. So we've got Stained, very cool, from 451. Then we also have George Perez's Sirens in a nice oversized hardcover edition. Gotta love the art of George Perez. He does have to. He's one of the most significant names in the history of comic books ever. Then we have the complete Oko from Archaea. Very cool. We have the Master Race and other stories. We also have Tales from the Outer Rim. And we have Gomer Goof. It's a Van Goof. That looks funny. And once again, all of these are 30% off today because of our graphic novel sale. Graphic novels, hardcovers, manga, omnibuses, all on sale. Now we bring it down, and we've got the brand new issue of America, issue number 11 from Gabriel Rivera and Stacey Lee. Some really cool stuff going on here as America deals with the fallout of the Image. And Image has a big week. We've got the brand new issue of Rumble, issue number 2. Show off a couple of different covers here. Really great stuff here as John Arcudi and David Rubin join to tell the next chapter of the Rumble saga. We also have the brand new issue of Mage, The Hero Denied. Very cool cover here from Matt Wagner. I love covers that break the fourth wall. Very fun stuff and a great read. We also have the brand new issue of Kill or Be Killed from Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips with Elizabeth Brett Weiser on art. Really I mean, what's there to be said about Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips? They're one of the most fantastic creative teams in the history of comics, in my opinion. Ed Brubaker is one of my favorite writers ever. I immediately get immersed in every project he does. Elizabeth Brettweiser does such a fantastic job bathing this in wonderful colors. It is a really great book. And the trade paperback, 30% off today. So there's no reason not to check it out. And if you like it, pick up the new issue, issue 15. Makes perfect sense. You buy the trade, you're all caught up, then you buy the single issue. Easy, done. Now we move on to one of the most visually engaging covers of the week, I think. Ice Cream Man, issue number 1, a brand new series from Image, and I love this. I know next to nothing about this book, except that I want to read it because it looks awesome, and it is really cool and it's really fun. It's a brand new book from Image, and they always make fantastic books. Now, as we move on, we also have the further adventures of Nick Wilson, the stories of a down-and-out superhero years later after he has kind of lost his powers and lost his way. Some great stuff. Very cool, and of course, you know it's going to be filled with some commentary on the comic book industry. Now we move on, and we do have the brand new issue of the Family Trade, issue number 4 from Justin Jordan. Justin Jordan is an amazing writer, fantastic talent, and this is a great read if you haven't been checking it out. We also have the brand new issue of Evolution from James Asmus. Very cool storyline, another hot new Image book. But if you're looking to get in on the ground floor, if you're looking to start something off right as it comes out of the gates, you got to pick up Days of Hate, which is a brand new series from Image Comics from Alice Cott, who really has done nothing but fantastic work over the years. I'm a big Alice Cott fan. Really liked when he was on Suicide Squad a few years ago, and I liked the Secret Avengers. Really cool new storyline as we see the United States in the future, and things have not worked out well for America. And now the country is more divided than ever, and you have to see if they can ever truly unite. I love this cover with the hands out reaching, but the covenant barbed wire. Oh, fantastic. Awesome book. Check it out. We also have the 3rd issue of Dark Fang from Miles Gunter. Really cool book with vampires and environmentalism, and you would never put those two things into the same sentence, but you do here. And also, look at that polar bear. That polar bear is terrifying. This book is awesome. Actually, that's not a polar bear. I just realized it's a tiger, but still terrifying. I'm still scared. I'm so scared I can't even think properly. Then we have the brand new issue of Copperhead. That's right. We have a brand new issue of Copperhead. Copperhead is back, and it is telling more sci-fi tales from Image Comics. And we have the brand new issue of Angelic, issue number 6 from Simon Spurrier and Casper Wingard. Really fantastic book. Fun, and you know this is a book that everybody can enjoy. It's got fantastic creativity, and it's extremely imaginative. Then we continue on, and we have the brand new issue of Weird Love, issue number 22. I say brand new, but it's Weird Love, and you guys know by now that Weird Love is filled with really cool reprints of classic romance comics, so you got to pick it up if you want something old school. We also have the brand new issue of Optimus Prime, The Falling, Part 1. A new storyline unfolds. And we have the Hasbro Heroes Sourcebook Character Guide. Now, this does qualify as a graphic novel, in case you're wondering, so 30% off. And it's really cool because it's got everybody you need to know in the Hasbro connected universe that IDW is working so hard on and doing a really great job. Then we have the brand new issue of Diablo House, issue number 3. A horrifyingly awesome good time. That's a good tagline. And look at that cover. That is terrifying. This is like the weird. It's like they made Mad Max more warped, and I didn't think that was possible. I like the 666 on this car. It's cool. It's subtle. We also have the brand new issue of Assassinistas from Black Crown, which is an imprint within IDW. Some really cool stuff. Now, we do hit DC, and it is a crazy week for DC. DC's got so many cool books. First off, we've got Wonder Woman and Conan, issue number 5. Of course, Conan has been in the public eye. People are very excited because Marvel has just purchased the rights. But before we get there, we got to have Conan teaming up with Wonder Woman, and that is awesome. That is where I want to put my money because it's Gail Simone and it's Aaron Lopresti, And we've got this really cool Neil Adams cover, and it's a fantastic read if you want to check out two really fantastic mythology-based characters squaring off. We also have the brand new issue of Trinity, issue number 17, No Home for You Here, part 1. Strangers in a savage world. We see Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman have been displaced, have been thrust into a foreign environment. Can they survive? I hope so. Now we do continue on, and we have a very cool, very quiet book of the week. We have Superman issue number 39, and we've got a couple cool covers here. I actually really dig this John Boy cover. And Goodnight Moon, we get to see a fun, character-centric story where Superman brings a bunch of sick kids up to the Watchtower to meet the Justice League and to fulfill their dreams. It's like Make-A-Wish with superheroes, and it really is wonderful, and it's a touching story. If you want to see what these characters mean to children across the world, now is the time to check out Superman. We also have the conclusion of Super Sons of Tomorrow in Super Sons issue number 12, Broken Future. If you guys have been reading and keeping up with the storyline, you see that things have gotten really crazy with Savior, who's the future evil Tim Drake from the Titans of Tomorrow storyline, who's been brought back and created the new alias, and it's awesome, it's crazy. And we now have the conclusion of that storyline. We have to see what this means for the future of John Kent, who has, of course, been at the center of the storyline. And hopefully they make it out okay. You know, one can hope. Then we move on, and we've got Jack Kirby's Project Superpowers. Now, this is the collection of both volumes of Superpowers in one trade paperback edition. We're already sold out online, so you're going to have to pick it up in store. Really cool stuff. And, of course, it's Jack Kirby drawing all the heroes of the DC universe. That is awesome. That is everything I need. And it's very cool, and it's called Superpowers. You know, it's like a tie-in to the old toy line. It's fun. Then another great graphic novel to pick up is Volume 4 of Nightwing from the Rebirth series. This is, of course, Blockbuster. And Blockbuster was one of Nightwing's amazing foes in the original Chuck Dixon run. And now we get to see him brought back into the modern day and what it means for Nightwing. And you know it can't mean good things for Nightwing. We've got Tim Seeley, Javi Fernandez on art. And it really is a cool read if you want to check it out. And it's got 22 through 28, so it's got a nice chunk of books there. It's got a good chunk of story, and it is definitely a worthwhile read. Then, once you're done with that, you can skip a bit, and you can check out this cool flashback issue of Nightwing, issue number 37 by Sam Humphries, and we've actually got Klaus Janson on art, which is super awesome because Klaus is, of course, one of the most legendary names in the history of Batman, having worked on him on so many fantastic projects. And here we get to see his take on Nightwing in this fun flashback tale. Now we will bring it up and we'll talk about a couple more graphic novels that are out this week. We've got The Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. Really cool. 50 freaking years. That's awesome. Then we've got Gray Area. This Island Earth by Dan Abnett. Love Dan Abnett's work. And this is a fun one. We've got Transformers Windblade, The Last City. Windblade is, of course, one of the most popular Transformers characters to emerge in the last few years, created by the fans, and she's really turned into a really cool character, a really fantastic lead figure. Then we also have Tales from the Age of the Cobra, and we have Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Adult Coloring Book. You got to say it, you know, like Bill and Ted there. Really cool, though, if you're a Bill and Ted fan, and it does apply to our graphic novel sale. We also have Lights of the Amlo. We have For Women. Ooh, we've got Supergirl Volume 4 from Sterling Gates and Jamal Igle. This is some of the best stuff from that era with Supergirl. Really cool run. Really fantastic. Also 30% off. And then we have Department H Decompressed. This is Volume 3, and it's a nice hardcover. Very cool edition from Matt Kint. And then to close us off, we've got Skylander, Spyro and Friends. We've got Shadows on the Grave from Richard Corbin, his latest series collected in a hardcover edition. We've got the brand new Mass Effect Discovery, of course, collecting that recent Dark Horse mini. And then we've got Giant Days, not on the test edition. This is a really nice edition. Wow. This is really cool. Fantastic book from Boom. If you haven't been checking out the Giant Days book, it really is worthwhile. We also have back to the weeklies. We've got Justice League issue number 37 from Christopher Priest and Phil Briones jumping in on art here. We've got a really cool J.J. Jones cover, which I really dig. And we get to see the Justice League at one another's throats. Christopher Priest has really been doing a good job of showing the Justice League at odds with one another. And this is a fantastic continuation as the people versus the Justice League take center stage. Then, as we continue, we've got the brand new issue of Injustice 2, the Eradicators attack. The Eradicators, of course, are the Kryptonian security force that has been a featured part of Superman's lore for decades now. Really cool to see them brought into the Injustice universe. And then we have issue number 35 of Harley Quinn, which begins the beginning of Frank Thierry's run on Harley Quinn, jumping in as the new series writer with Inaki Miranda on art. And in our first issue, introducing Batwoman. Wait, hold on, that's not right. We get to see Man-Bat is, of course, going to play a role in the series. Very fun. And I actually really like this Frank Cho cover. That's a cute little 2018 joke, you know? Gotta love it. Then we have the brand new issue of Green Lanterns from Tim Seeley. Some really crazy stuff going on here as A World of Our Own continues. Really great read featuring Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz. We also have Green Arrow Volume 9, Old Tricks, collecting the classic Mike Grell run on the character. Once again, we are sold out online, so you got to pick it up in store. And it's 30% off in store anyway, so you got to pick it up for the great deal. We also have Future Quest presents Birdman. Some great stuff going on here. Phil Hester and Steve Rude on art. And you got to love Steve Rude's art. He's such an amazing talent. He doesn't do monthly books too often, so pick it up while you can. Then we've got a cool trio of reprinted editions of Dark Knight's Metal as we get ready for the new issue in just a couple weeks. But if you've been falling behind, we got 1, 2, 3 fantastic issues for you to enjoy and indulge on. Now, as we move on, we've got one of the books I'm most excited for this week. We've got Damage, which is the start of the New Age of Heroes line from DC. And this is with art by Tony Daniel, and Robert Venditti is doing the writing on it. And it really is a fantastic book. And this one we're going to take a flip through because we just got to show off some of these pages. And I got to show you this cover. So, first off, let me show you this cover. So they did something awesome here. It is a trifold vertical cover. So that's right. It is folding out upward. And on one side, you've got this amazing art from Jim Lee, actually. This is part of the Immortal Men. And it's going to fold or create a gateway image across the multiple books. But if we fold it around, we have this awesome cover by Tony Daniel. Really cool how they are exploring the artistic medium here. Doing some great stuff. And it folds up really easily. It's literally just trifold, you know? Awesome stuff. And I want to show off some of these pages, too, as we open on this great double-page splash. Damage is a brand new hero. No relation to the previous Damage. Some great stuff going on. It's really cool. It's he's a product of the military, and he's taken on the military. And it is a great read, and it's only $2.99. It's only $2.99. Try a new book. $2.99. Awesome opportunity to jump in while it's brand new. We also have the brand new issue of Bombshells United, issue number 10 from Marguerite Bennett. Really cool cover there by Terry Dodson. And we have the brand new issue of Batwoman, paging Professor Pig. That's right, Professor Pig is popping up in this new storyline. I love this Michael Cho cover. Really cool stuff here. And it is a great place to start reading Batwoman if you haven't already. We also have a couple of reprinted editions of Batman White Knight. So this is a great week to pick up some books if you've been falling behind. We've got reprinted editions of 1, 2, 3, and you can pick it up here right now. Now, as we move on, we've got one of the coolest books of the week that I'm excited for. We've got the continuation of the Super Friends storyline in Batman, issue number 39. Joelle Jones and Tom King are really doing a great job on the storyline. And here we get to see Wonder Woman teaming up with Batman, and that makes me happy because we don't see that team up very often. And the two of DC's most iconic characters, and we get to see them brought in together. I also love this cover by Olivier Coipel that's got the cape, and it's Batman's cape, and it just works. It's amazing. It's a great book. Then we move on to Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 from James Tynion. And, of course, we've got the amazing art of Freddie Williams II. Some cool stuff here. Really love that Freddie Williams cover as we see Bane is dealing with a new form of Venom that Baxter Stockman made. But if you know Baxter Stockman, you don't want what he's selling you because he's probably got like the weird tainted version. And so it can't be good for Bane, but it's going to be even worse for Batman and the Turtles. Then we have the brand new issue of Aquaman, issue number 32 from Dan Abnett. And I just want to show off a couple of the pages of this art here, because it really is such a pretty book. Gorgeous art here. And I'm really loving this series. Really cool. And goodness help me, I cannot remember the artist's name because he's a fill-in artist, but he's honestly amazing, and I want to see him on this book all the time. Let me see if I can find his name. There we go. Riccardo Federici. Amazing, amazing, gorgeous book. Check that out. Seriously, Aquaman has been awesome. I've been loving it the last year. Then we have a trade paperback collection of the complete Anarchy series, which is really awesome that Anarchy ever had a series because he's a great character. And here we get the entire thing. And once again, 30% off today. So swing by quick. Pick it up. And then we have Jenny Finn to close us off from Dark Horse from Mike Mignola, Troy Nixie, and Dave Stewart. Some really cool stuff from the world of Hellboy. And that's our week. It's a big week. It's a good week. There's amazing comics everywhere. We have an amazing week this week as well because we're going to be having a signing this Friday with Evan Narcisse for Rise of the Black Panther, issue number 1. So we want to see you guys there at Midtown Comics downtown. We've got more information on our Facebook page. And it's also a fantastic day for savings because graphic novels, 30% off. So please come by, pick up some of these amazing books. It really is a fantastic week. And we are super excited to see you soon.